Welcome to the Success School podcast. I'm your host, Tim Frey, and today I'm talking about a concept called ABC, always be closing. So this is about sales. This is actually the number one thing you need to do to build your business, and I'm going to explain why. You need to do this every day and you will be successful. And if you can't do it every day, someone in your company needs to do this every day, because sales equals revenue, which equals profit, which equals success. Without sales, that's where everything falls away. Depends what kind of business you're in, but there will be a natural amount of churn in any business. So what I mean by churn is customers leaving. It's natural, it's inevitable. One day, all your customers will leave and you need to replace some of them. Let's talk about a coaching program as an example here, just so you guys really understand this. Let's say I have 100 people in a coaching program. Hypothetically, let's say it's successful, my coaching program, and we had 10%, or our churn rate was 10%. So we'd lose 10 per month. In 10 months' time, we would have 0 clients if we weren't adding them back in. That is why sales needs to be the lifeblood of what you do. So before we get into that, I like to kick this off with a story. So I was telling a friend of mine, Brennan, how a Lamborghini was my dream car. And honestly, ever since I was a kid, it was a dream of mine. I never thought I would or could or would ever own a Lamborghini. And no, I don't have one and I haven't bought one yet. Maybe I will one day, but it's okay to actually love and like luxury stuff. I know it's frowned upon in some circles, especially some circles I'm in, where it's kind of cool just to live basically homeless and live minimalist and not have the things you want. I even saw an influencer say, when you share things like this, it's ego posting and you shouldn't do it at all because it doesn't provide value to anyone, which, I agree to an extent. It doesn't provide value to anyone, but it's valuable to you. And you, as an entrepreneur listening to this show, you can and should have whatever the fuck you want because it's your life. You shouldn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. And honestly, for me, Lamborghinis, fast cars, cool shit, it's inspiring for me personally. It inspires me to be better. It inspires me to be, a more well-rounded entrepreneur because I guess that's the point in being successful is you can just enjoy whatever you want if you are successful. And for me, that is the whole purpose of it. I know some people that are even worth 8 figures and honestly, they look homeless, and there's no point in that for me because I feel like if you are successful and you are wealthy and you are well off, you may as well enjoy the luxury or the finer things in life. So I want a Lambo, and I was at my friend Brennan's birthday the other week and he brought me out a box and then he said, I bought you a Lambo. And I was kind of thinking to myself, how the fuck's a Lambo going to fit in a box? But inside was a toy Lamborghini. And I kind of laughed and I was like, it's pretty sweet and such a nice gesture. But finally, I own a Lamborghini. And I can't remember the last time a full-grown man bought me a gift, but hey, I appreciate the shit out of it. Now, I have it on my desk upstairs. I'm in my podcast studio at the moment, or our studio, and I stare at it all day. And it makes me want to hustle more. And hustling more is an incredible thing because that drives revenue, profit, and more success. There has to be a degree of hustle in what you do. So what does having a Lamborghini have to do with this podcast? Well, today I'm talking about sales, and not like the ick used car sales, but the principles that you need to follow. If you want a Lambo or you want anything in life, you're going to need to make sales. The better you sell, the better your life will be. Let that sit with you. The better you sell, the better your life will be. And it doesn't have to be gross. Okay. We've done a ton of sales. Like I've literally done over 1,000 sales consultations face to face. That is like hand to hand combat. That is war. That is going to war in a sales realm, making tons of sales. But it made me a better person. It made me sell a lot. It gave me the life that you guys see right now. And sales is the lifeblood of that. So I'm going to talk about the concept of ABC. And it means always be closing. And I originally heard it from a guy called Grant Cardone, who's like a legend. If you look up Grant Cardone, he looks like 40 and he's 65. And one of the most inspiring guys I've ever probably seen. He's a really good entrepreneur. He's on a show called, I think he's on season 2 of Undercover Billionaire. Basically, what happens on Undercover Billionaire is they give them $100 and they drop them in a random town in America. And they have to make tons of money. With $100, they can't use their brand or their rep. They have to literally go incognito. So this guy he gets dropped in, I don't even know where it is. I watched it probably 12 months ago, but he gets dropped in a small town and he starts just selling for people. Okay. So he's selling I think he's selling rugs and TVs and gym memberships and stuff like that. Eventually he makes it pretty big. And I think he gets partner in a business. And this is all within a 45-day period. I actually can't remember the specifics of this, but Undercover Billionaire, Grant Cardone season 2, really good show. But every time I watch him and I think about it, I always think of Always Be Closing. And why I'm telling you this is because literally every minute, every day, when you're working and you're doing your power list and you're focusing, you should be thinking about how you can make more sales and help more people. Because that's what this is about, is helping more people. You need to show people your service or product to make sales. Clients are the lifeblood of your business. They are generated by marketing generally. Okay. Then marketing, you make sales. You have a really nice, non-icky sales conversation with them. And then you help them with your service or product. They get a result. You get a result. Everyone wins. Okay. What you guys really need to understand here is literally every minute of the day, first thing you do, you need to list out ways that you can make sales. This is a really easy exercise or concept. You don't have to do this every single day, but it needs to be at the forefront of your mind that we need to get new clients. How am I going to do this? So the exercise I've got for you to start here is list 10 actions you can take to get new clients into your business. And there's 3 ways generally to get more leads, aka clients, which turn into sales. The 3 ways are outreach, content, and paid ads generally. So outreach, we've got warm and cold. So warm is people you know, cold is people who have no idea who you are. Content is social media. That can be TikTok, Instagram, literally YouTube, whatever social media platform you want. You need to make content to get in front of people. And the last way is paid ads. Okay. This is expensive, takes a long time to learn. And you'll probably waste a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. So you've got Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, literally whatever. You've got paid advertising there. Okay. There's many ways to do it, but 3 main ways to grow, get more leads and make sales: outreach, content, and paid ads. Okay. So if you've got no time and you've got tons of money, I would recommend doing paid ads. If you've got no money, I would recommend doing outreach and content. So I'm just going to do a little bit of follower math for you. Okay. So everyone's kind of yeah, I've got all these social media followers. Why can't I build a 7-figure business on it? I'm going to do this really simple math for you. I did this in our program Success School and people were blown away with the simplicity of this follower math. So let's hypothetically say you've got 1,000 followers, and of those 1,000 followers, you have 100 potential clients or people that fit your perfect avatar or perfect client. Then of those 100 people, you've got 10 that may be interested in the thing you're trying to sell. So from 1,000, we're down to 10. Then let's say your sell rate is 50%. So you've got 5 clients. Okay. Then you've exhausted your entire audience and you've got 5 clients from it. So if you sell something that's really cheap, you've got 5 clients and they probably haven't paid you much. Okay. So 2 things here. You need a new offer that's higher ticket, or you need a bigger audience. This is where paid ads can come in because you can buy an audience pretty quickly and get in front of a lot of people. And this is where outreach goes really well because you can reach out to people that potentially are not your followers or just people you know or don't know, because you can outreach a bunch of people who have no idea about you and get in front of them. These are just some things you need to consider when it comes to growing a business, because everyone wants to start a business. Everyone wants 7 figures. Everyone wants to make it. Everyone wants to make money. But then you realize how hard it actually is and what goes into it. And this ABC, always be selling concept, or this always be marketing, or whatever you want to call it, is the key to making and building a 7-figure business. You gain a bigger audience by doing outreach, by doing ads, and by doing content. So where I would start if I were you, I would pick one. Are you going to cold outreach people, warm or cold? Sometimes that can feel a little bit gross. I've done both many times. I've done all this stuff. Then you could do content. Are you going to do enough content? The key here is volume. And I say this on all my coaching calls in Success School. If you're doing 1 post a week, it is not going to be enough to cut through the noise. And if you're just starting out and you're doing it yourself, you're probably going to be pretty bad at content anyway. So it's not going to cut through the noise. Volume is key for content, which takes time as well. And then what are you going to do? Are you going to do ads? Okay. Ads is the other thing that you need to learn. Of all three of these concepts, contents, or way to get new clients, outreach is probably the simplest because you already have a bunch of people that know, like, and trust you in your warm audience. And what I mean by that is probably like your Facebook friends. I think the average was about 460 Facebook friends per person on Facebook. So you know a bunch of people that you could help with your service or product. I want to go into a little bit of a story, okay? So owning a gym is incredible, especially the first 2 years, because all my friends wanted to train with me and my friends' friends. And that is my warm audience. That's my warm outreach. So what happens after the first 2 years is things get really hard because you've exhausted your list. You've trained all your friends. Maybe they've moved on, not saying it went badly or anything, but generally people move on from a business. And at that point, I didn't even realize it, but I sucked at marketing. I had no idea about marketing. So you've burnt your audience out and you need to find a new audience. This is where business gets very challenging. And this is where what I've been telling you about in this podcast episode will be most important to you. You're out of the support phase, and then you find out what it's really like to own a business. So if you're in that first 2-year honeymoon period, you need to know that you need to get better at marketing and getting new clients and selling new clients. That's when I learned content, paid ads, and outreach, like legit outreach, not just being like, come train at my gym, like actual outreach processes. And that's how I grew 7-figure businesses with one of those or a combination of those. So where do you start here? You've got the three things. We've got outreach, we've got ads, and we've got content. I would recommend doing 50 minutes of content a day, spending $50 on paid ads per day, or do 50 outreach attempts per day as a way to start, okay? Scale that up, get a bunch of clients, sell your service or product, provide value, get referrals, and then go from there. That is literally the process that I used. It was more informal than that, and I didn't know I was doing that at the time, but essentially that's what I did to grow many businesses. So focus on one of those things, get really good at it, then add another, then add another. On the next episode of the Success School podcast, I'm going to be talking to you about the metrics that matter in business and what to track so you know you are making progress. Lastly, guys, just a little bit of housekeeping. Don't forget to subscribe or follow the Success School podcast. Share it with someone if you got one piece of value. This show grows by word of mouth. And lastly, if you could leave a rating, it would be muchly appreciated by me and the Success School team. Thanks, guys.